Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Listen, I just wanted to hop on here and shoot a quick video. This is some interesting stuff that's going on with Russia and China and a quote unquote new payments system. This is very, very interesting because it feels very much like this is something that the US has been preparing for and not telling us that they have been preparing for this very, very thing. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to cover an article from DL News. It says it's titled How Russia and China Threaten to Front Run the US on Stable Coins as Legislation Stalls. Right? This is, again, politics in the US as opposed to things that happen in Russia and China is very, very different. It's very, very different because in Russia and China, it's a dude that says, yeah, this is the thing that we're doing. You understand? And in the US, that ain't how it goes. We're going to talk about national security risk and how I believe it feels like this is the US's plan, and it's been their plan for a long time. This article says the BRICS group of countries has announced that it is working on its own payment rails. Now, some people believe that the payment rails are tied to Ripple and the XRPL, but this, right? But this says its own payment rails. We'll get into that later. The news from the bitterest rivals of the United States could stimulate Congress to move on long-awaited stablecoin legislation. So they're talking about Russia and China and what they're doing, and this could prompt a sense of urgency to Congress. And I believe this sense of urgency to Congress will be from the United States Treasury, which means it's the current administration. Anyway, let's get into this, right? Partisan squabbling and a dysfunctional Congress have stalled U.S. stablecoin laws. Now, I don't know how new or old this is, but this is March 11th of 2024. So I haven't heard about any, obviously stuff hasn't moved along, but the latest from Perry on Boring is she believes it's about a 75% chance now for stablecoin legislation to get approved in 2024. But reports that a group led by Russia and China is creating a new blockchain payments system to rival Western ones may change that. This could be, quote unquote, this is from Ron Hammond. This could be the national security risk that makes the United States Congress move on stablecoin legislation, or at least bring folks to the table. Ron Hammond, Director of Government Relations. Now, here's what I will say about this. Here's his post on Twitter, but apparently he shared this with this news company. Here's the thing that I'm some believe that these payment rails. Now, the article clearly is saying that they're Russia, China, whoever is building their own blockchain to facilitate this trading. Some believe in the XRP entertaining community that since there are ties and since people from China and people from Russia are mentioning Ripple and in different articles, that they believe they're going to somehow leverage Ripple's technology. Now, here's the thing that I would say. What good does that do the XRP holder? Because clearly leveraging Ripple's technology will be a private thing, right? Clearly, it will be a private thing. So I'm just always confused how the XRP entertaining content creators keep promoting the thing that's going to happen for Ripple. They're not XRP holders. So I think this will, if they do leverage Ripple's technology, surely it will be in a private manner, because the public ledger, you understand, is public and the transactions will be public. And it doesn't look like Russia and China are interested, or India will be interested in that, because they're in a lot of ways trying to do things around said sanctions from the U.S. payment system, right, by way of SWIFT and others. So this doesn't really, I don't see how it'll be great to usher in stablecoin legislation because of this thing that Russia and China is looking to do. That will be absolutely great because the U.S. can get stablecoin legislation. But in terms of some nations using a public ledger, which would benefit XRP holders because the native asset of the XRPL is the digital asset of XRP. I don't see how that's going to happen. Now, stablecoin legislation would be awesome. Now, if FSOC and or the Treasury say, look, this stuff is going on over here, and we need to get stablecoins through, awesome. That's cool. Stablecoin legislation is massive for the digital asset space. It's absolutely massive. What I want to know is how is the XRPL going to help stablecoins? That's what I want to know. Because if it helps the stablecoins and helps the dollar, that's what we want. So that's my thing. How is the XRPL going to help the US dollar? That's the $164 trillion question. If we know that, if we know that it can, and the administration accepts that, awesome. That is the key. That, in my humble opinion, is the key to all of this. So cool, Russia's doing the blockchain payments thing, awesome. And it'll probably, set on fire, right? It'll create a sense of urgency from the Treasury. I do think that and they'll pour that down to Congress. I do think it's interesting that the Treasury has come out and mentioned the phrase and said digital assets that are not securities. That's interesting to me that she would say that, and she would make a point of saying that. Is interesting to me. We'll see if that will ever tie into an asset like XRP that has been given legal clarity that in and of itself is not a security. Now, will that ultimately lead to Congress or something coming out and saying these are commodities, these are securities, these are the payments, these are whatever? I don't know. But I do think that the U.S. is preparing for and have been preparing for this Russia-China blockchain payment system thing. I do know that they are preparing for that. My hope and prayer is that the U.S. will figure out a way to leverage the technology of the XRPL. That's my hope and prayer. And I don't know if they will, but that is what my hope and prayer is, that they'll figure out a way to leverage this technology. National security risk for stablecoin legislation, we have to make that equate or trickle down to the XRPL, right? Not private Ripple technology. Okay, that doesn't serve the XRP holder. You understand? We want stuff that's going to serve the XRP holder. And I don't see how a private blockchain with the company is doing that. So hopefully the U.S. will figure something out. And again, interesting wording and phrasing from Secretary Yellen. She did not have to say that, but she did say digital assets, they're not securities. Embracing, taking on, looking into, whatever you want to put in front of that, digital assets that are not securities is an interesting phrase coming from Secretary Yellen. So there it is, fam. That's the XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope that it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you've been hanging out watching the Crypto Siege and you have enjoyed the Hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.